So let it be written. So let it be done.
So, on that note, there's something else I want to address, right? The next thing I want to address is a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, let me not say that, but some people was hitting up my Twitter feed, and some people hitting me up, and they was talking about how HipHopGamer don't really got 20,000 games. HipHopGamer don't really got 20,000 games. 20,000 games. These are games cases. I have a game case right here, but I also have a game case right here. The reason why I have one hidden, because I got something that I can't show y'all, but it does prove that I got everything I say I have.
You lie! You're a fucking liar! Shut up!
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God, stop fucking lying. Oh, you had me so close. Your lies ain't flowed though. Why the fuck you lying to me? You're someone I can't believe.
I can't stands me a liar. Black Bond may be willing to give hip-hop fraud, HipHopLiar. Oops, my bad. Let me start over. Black Bond may be willing to give HipHopGamer the benefit of the doubt, but I, however, am not. The claim from HipHopGamer that he has 20,000 games. Hip-Hop, you are a liar. You are a fraud. And I can pretty much guarantee right now that you're going to duck this challenge Bond gave you to prove that you have this collection, just like Zaire ducked proving that he owned a $12,000 PC. I'm calling it right now. Now, I also wanted to address 7th Level's theory about how the 20,000 games are all ROMs on a modded Xbox. Personally, I don't buy this either. Why? With the absolute disgusting lack of gaming knowledge hip-hop has displayed from his mouth in his own videos, with his trophy scores confirming how much of a gamer he isn't, you really think he has the knowledge to be able to accumulate 20,000 games in even ROM form? Him having 20,000 games would indicate that he would even have games hardly anybody has ever heard of. Games like this. Or games like this. Or games like this. Or this. Or this. Or this. Or this. Or this. You get the fucking idea. You mean to tell me that HipHopGamer has enough knowledge about gaming, even though it's been proven that he doesn't, to know about all these games, yet hardly anybody else has heard of them? He would pretty much have to know about them to be able to get a collection that huge. The only way I could see that he has 20,000 games in ROM form is if he has hundreds, if not thousands, of ROM hacks of what is essentially all the same game. Which brings us full circle and still makes HipHopGamer an absolute fucking liar. Regardless, it should be interesting to see hip-hop con artists do a little sidestep dance or outright ignore this challenge to show his collection. We'll all be waiting to see what you do, hip-hop. We'll all be waiting. The Great Exposer has spoken!
Like I said before, I started this web series because I was inspired by a lot of people that was questioning what I do or what I have, and the best way to combat any type of hate or any kind of doubt is not to only show and prove.
You lie! You're a fucking liar! Shut up!
Yes, boss. Yes, boss. Ooh. Yes, boss. Yeah. You exposed, bitch. You exposed. If you got no games, you exposed, bitch. You exposed. You exposed. You exposed, bitch. You exposed. Yes, boss. Yes, boss. Yes, boss. Yes, boss.
See, a real old school gamer never would have even played those games when they were new. No. A real old school gamer cares about old school and experiencing old school for the first time. So they make videos playing games that they never played before when they were new, and that's why they have to play them with cheats turned on. For a true hardcore gamer, it's preferable to play the game digitally so you can turn all the cheats on, since you've never actually played the game before, as opposed to owning original carts with no cheats, where you had to actually learn how to play the game. In fact, that is a class of gamer that goes beyond old school gamer, that goes beyond hardcore, that goes beyond retro for life. No, there's only one word for that type of gamer in the English language. Fraud!
Well, a case that never really should have been opened to begin with has officially been closed. HipHopGamer doesn't have a legit collection of 20,000 games and has been exposed as a fraud. All's well that ends well, right? Except there's one small detail that nobody other than me has even bothered to address. Roll the footage! Now, I also wanted to address 7th Level's theory about how the 20,000 games are all ROMs on a modded Xbox. Personally, I don't buy this either. Yep, everybody seemed to only be concerned with the impossibility of him owning a legit collection of 20,000 games. Yet nobody other than me wants to address the highly unlikely, if not downright impossibility, of HipHopGamer even having a collection of 20,000 ROMs. I even posted a comment on 7th Level's latest video reiterating this, and he responded pretty much agreeing with what I said. But I'll address his response anyway, just to further show that HipHopGamer is in all likelihood lying about even having 20,000 ROMs. Before I do that though, I want to make it perfectly clear that while I have been using and working with emulators and ROMs since roughly 2009 at least, it has strictly been downloading emulators/ROMs to a computer and using them on said computer. As far as console modding to play all these emulators/ROMs is concerned, I know nothing about the technical aspects of actually doing any of that. However, I imagine you basically find all the software online just like you would if you were going to use it on a computer and somehow mod it into the console. But if I'm wrong, I would like somebody in the comments to let me know. Now then, 7th mentioned a whole bunch of potential emulators for old consoles like the Odyssey 2, the Vectrix, Commodore, etc. You have to work a little bit to be able to find them, as they may not be available on your average run-of-the-mill emulator site like CoolROM, Emulator Zone, Emu Paradise, etc. But you'll eventually be able to find them. Getting them to actually work, however, is another story. See, when it comes to emulators, at least from my experience, there's an emulator collection for a certain era of gaming which I have coined the sweet spot, which is basically an era of gaming in which you can just get the emulators and ROMs and barely have to do anything to get them to work. You just get the software and start playing. A lot of these emulators you don't even have to install onto your computer. These emulators are so easy to work with, even somebody like HipHopGamer could do it. The most you might have to do is set your controller inputs, unless you just want to play with the keyboard, in which you can usually just open up and play. These emulators are primarily for the 8 and 16-bit eras of gaming. NES? Plenty of emulators you can download that will work right on the spot. SNES? Only one SNES emulator might require a little teeny bit of preemptive maintenance, and that's ZSNES. The classic Sega consoles? Kega Fusion, aka K-Fusion. Genesis, Master System, Game Gear, and 32X games normally work right out of the gate with that emulator. Only thing you need to do for the Sega CD element to work is download some BIO files. Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and even Game Boy Advance, they work right out of the gate too. The only 16-bit console that is a pain in the ass to emulate is TurboGrafx 16. So much of a pain in the ass that I've yet to find a completely 100% reliable emulator for it. The MAME emulator for arcade games requires a little bit of preemptive maintenance, but nothing too taxing. It's when you get into emulators for consoles that were released before and after this era of gaming that you start running into problems, especially before. You can find all sorts of emulators and ROMs for really old consoles like Atari 2600 and Mattel Intellivision, but I have yet to find any of them that have worked properly for me. Now maybe I'm doing something wrong on my end, and I know other people have gotten them to work just fine, but for me they are an absolute hassle. So much so that I don't even want to bother with them. And as you will find out when I cover the emulators for the later consoles, I'm at least competent to proficient with working with emulators. So, if I have a hard time with getting emulators from the pre-8-bit era to work properly, how could I possibly believe HipHopGamer of all people would be able to get them to run smoothly with no issues? On top of all that, how could I possibly believe that HipHopGamer would even know about some of these old consoles? Sure, he's name-dropped the Atari 2600 before, but am I really expected to believe that HipHopGamer has heard of the Vectrix, or the Odyssey 2, or the Commodore 64, or even the Intellivision 5200 and 7800? With the dumbass corporate pandering dog shit that comes out of his mouth on a regular basis, combined with his pathetic-ass trophy scores on PSN, am I really expected to believe he is enough of a hardcore gamer to know about these old systems that even the average gamer may not have heard of? And like 7th Level even admitted in his own response to my comment, he was even adding a lot of ROMs of imported games as well as potential ROMs for old Apple II computers to be able to reach the hypothetical 20,000 games figure if HipHopGamer were to have ROMs of all the old stuff. I had an Apple II GS as a kid, by the way, just as a little sidetrack. But yeah, even with adding all that, 7th still came up short of the 20,000 games mark. So we can pretty much logically conclude that his supposed 20,000 ROMs, in all likelihood, doesn't include anything from the pre-8-bit generation. But what about after the 16-bit generation? That's where it gets interesting. The success rate of the newer systems is much better than the success rate of the old systems, but the results still vary. I'm already going to eliminate the Sega Saturn from the list right off the bat, as that system is notoriously difficult to emulate. So much so that even the experts of emulation struggle with it. The Dreamcast, on the other hand, is a different story. Now granted, I had to work at it a little bit, trying a few different emulators and playing with their settings, but I found one that I was able to get pretty much any Dreamcast ROM to work flawlessly for. And I have been enjoying the Dreamcast ROMs I have downloaded for it ever since. Other than the mild issue of having to input N64 controls using a PlayStation style controller, in which I could just probably purchase a USB N64 style controller to remove that hassle anyway, the Project 64 emulator works perfectly. My PSP emulator, called PPSSPP of all things, has been working flawlessly with no hiccups. I haven't messed with the Wii emulation aspects of the Dolphin emulator, but I've had great success with GameCube ROMs. My PCSX2 PS2 emulator experiences some issues every now and then with some ROMs. Like with Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction, for example, it was very laggy and had dramatically misplaced shadows. However, I played around with the emulator settings and got that game to work now with relatively little issues. But then we get to the original PlayStation. Firstly, It's hard enough to find a completely and totally reliable emulator for it that will play everything with no problems. I have not one, but two PS1 emulators in which some of the ROMs work great on one and not the other, so there's already some reliability issues with the emulators themselves. Now what about the ROMs? For those that saw my last video, you may have noticed that when I started listing off obscure games that HipHopGamer would have to know about and have ROM versions for to even come close to reaching his supposed collection of 20,000 ROMs, the very first example I showed was Broken Helix for the original PlayStation. It's actually quite unfortunate that this game is as obscure as it is. It's a 3D action game made by Konami back when they were still good, set in Area 51, that has branching story/gameplay paths, and has a protagonist voiced by Bruce fucking Campbell. Granted, it's not the best game ever, but it definitely deserves to be more well known. But back on topic. The fact that the game is so obscure that it would be unlikely for HipHopGamer to even know about it, to be able to get a ROM version of the game to begin with, is not the only reason why I just so happened to list that game first in my previous video. The footage you're about to see is of me trying to play the game normally, and I end up completing the first major task of the game, which is defusing the first bomb that has been planted inside Area 51. Roll the footage.
The red or blue wire? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I've defused the first bomb.
Good! Get your butt to the next one!
There you go.
Yep, the game just stops dead in its tracks after the cutscene of you defusing that bomb. I have downloaded multiple different ROMs of this game from many different sites and torrent files, have tried this on both my PS1 emulators, even with altering the emulator settings to try to get past this, and have even tried it on different PCs. I get the same exact result every time. There doesn't seem to be a complete 100% working ROM for this game online, and I've looked for one in several places. If there is a working ROM of this game online, it's hidden in a hard-to-find crevice of the ROM/torrent community. So tell me, HipHopGamer, since you've clearly amassed such a large, extensive collection of ROMs, and would therefore have to have this game to reach the 20,000 ROMs figure you've provided, and are therefore clearly better at finding this stuff than I am, I would really like to know how you managed to find a complete 100% fully functional ROM copy of this game. Surely somebody of your hardcore gaming background that has such an extensive knowledge in gaming would know where to find. Oh, wait. You make it clear on a regular basis that you don't know shit about gaming. So how the fuck am I expected to believe that you even know about this game, let alone were able to find a working ROM copy of it? So I guess the better question is, how did the person or people that put together all the ROMs you have in whatever game case or modded console that houses your supposed 20,000 games manage to find a complete working ROM copy of this game? On top of that, how did they even know about this game that went nearly completely ignored during the time period at which it came out, and has thus been relegated into near complete obscurity now? Like I said in my comment posted on 7th Level's previous video, and like I implied in my last video, the only way HipHopGamer would even be able to have a legit collection of 20,000 ROMs was if he were to have emulators for just about every single well-known console that has been able to be emulated thus far, and all the ROMs for each emulator, including all the super obscure games and probably even all the imports as well. As we've already concluded, the likelihood of him even knowing about the super old consoles like the Vectrex and the Odyssey 2 to be able to get emulators and ROMs for, let alone get past all the issues of getting them to work, is slim to nil, so that can't be part of his collection. When you get into the emulators for the newer consoles, you start to get into the area of having non-working ROMs, so that's out the door too. Here are the only scenarios that I can think of that can possibly explain his claim of having 20,000 ROMs. Scenario 1, he had somebody or multiple people that had the knowledge about all this stuff, as well as knowledge of all the past consoles and the games for said consoles, put all this stuff together for him, and told him the number of ROMs he has, without him knowing for a fact that he actually has 20,000 completely working and functioning ROMs. Which in all likelihood he doesn't, because there are some emulators that even the pros would have a hard time to get to work properly, as well as ROMs for several games that are broken. Scenario 2, and this is the most likely scenario if he actually does have 20,000 ROMs, he has your standard emulators and ROMs for the arcade games, 8-bit games, and 16-bit games, then supplements that still huge gap to his 20,000 games figure with ROM hacks of the same game. And for those not in the know, this is an example of a ROM hack. Or the third and final scenario. He's just throwing this figure of 20,000 ROMs out in the open and lying his ass off, thinking nobody that actually has a little bit of knowledge regarding ROMs and emulators will catch on to his bullshit. Well, sorry to say, but that plan sure went up in smoke, didn't it? I mean, damn, even Zaire claiming he owned 5,000 games was more modest and realistic than this shit. Bottom line, this is the situation you now find yourself in, HipHopGamer. You got exposed regarding the implication of having a legit collection of 20,000 games, which I don't even know why people even put in the effort to doubt that to begin with, because the outlandishness of the claim speaks for itself. Regardless, you crashed headfirst into a brick wall of fail on that end. However, now I'm about to pull the wall down and bury you with the tumbling bricks, because I provided some pretty damning evidence in this video showing it's highly unlikely, if not outright impossible, that you even have 20,000 ROMs. The way I see it, you've got one way out of this. I want you, in another one of your live streams, to show us this game case or modded console or whatever you say you have, and show all of us, on camera, all the games you have listed on it, just like 7th Level did with his modded console. I'm going to be generous about this and give you a week to answer my challenge. You failed to prove to Black Bond and the YouTube gaming community that you actually have a legit collection of 20,000 games. Now you need to prove to me and the YouTube gaming community that you're not a fraud on the ROM end of the spectrum as well. If you fail to meet this challenge that I'm issuing out to you, you will forever be labeled as a complete and total fraud, rivaling the levels of even Zaire, and what little reputation you have left will vanish in an instant. Like I said, you've got 1 week. 7 days, Hip-Hop Gamer. The countdown has started. It's time to put your money where your corporate cum-encrusted mouth is. We'll be waiting. The great exposer has spoken. You failed to prove to Black Bond and the YouTube gaming community that you actually have a legit collection of 20,000 games. Now you need to prove to me and the YouTube gaming community that you're not a fraud on the ROM end of the spectrum as well. If you fail to meet this challenge that I'm issuing out to you, you will forever be labeled as a complete and total fraud, rivaling the levels of even Zaire, and what little reputation you have left will vanish in an instant. Like I said, you've got 1 week. 7 days, Hip-Hop Gamer. The countdown has started. It's time to put your money where your corporate cum-encrusted mouth is. We'll be waiting.
Alright, cool. So check this out. This is the second episode of I Got Game, and I want to show y'all something that I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all don't got or probably never seen. Okay, this is Street Fighter 2 Rapid Edition. Street Fighter 2 Rapid Edition. Street Fighter 2 Rapid Edition. Have you ever heard of it? So there we go. There we go. What y'all know about this? What y'all know about this?
Scenario 2, and this is the most likely scenario if he actually does have 20,000 ROMs. He has your standard emulators and ROMs for the arcade games, 8-bit games, and 16-bit games, then supplements that still huge gap to his 20,000 games figure with ROM hacks of the same game. ROM hacks of the same game. ROM hacks of the same game.
Exposed-io!
Thanks for exposing yourself, clown.
Exposed.
HipHopGamer, you stupid motherfucker, you. First off, you thinking you have any room to talk about fake gamers is absolutely hilarious to me. Considering your ass got exposed for talking a bunch of bullshit about having a collection of 20,000 games, only for it to be revealed that they were nothing more than ROMs. Then I came in and further exposed your ass by showing that you didn't even have a legit collection of 20,000 ROMs, considering you had to supplement and inflate that number using ROM hacks of the same damn game. So I guess by your logic, if I change a game's color palette and alter the gameplay slightly, that means it's an entirely different game then, huh? I guess that means you graduated from the Vanilla Ice School of Damage Control.
We sampled them from them, but it's not the same bass line. Like it goes ding 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 diggy ding ding, ding 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 diggy ding ding, ding ding ding. That's the way theirs goes. Ours goes ding 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 diggy ding ding, ding 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 diggy ding ding.
Then to top it all off, I exposed the exact name of the ROM hack of Street Fighter II that you were playing, and when somebody else pointed the same thing out to you, you got caught lying and frauding again by denying it, to wit I showed visual evidence that proved you are a lying fraud. Basically, any accusation you make about fake gamers is about as valid as Zaire's life. And now we have you running your stupid, worthless mouth again, showing yet again how you don't know what you're talking about, and once again proving you have no business involving yourself in the gaming industry. This is not even up for debate anymore. This is 100% factual. So allow me to yet again destroy you regarding this, that not only shows you have no earthly clue about context, but actually kind of shows that you're bad with basic numbers. When PC gamers say that we don't have to pay to play online, what they actually mean is paying anything else additionally other than their basic bills to be able to use the internet to begin with. Let me break this down nice and easy for you, Barney style. PC gamers obviously have to pay an electricity bill so they can turn their computer on, despite the fact that said electricity bill is for other things like food preservation, cooking, light, etc. Then of course they have to pay their internet service provider, whether it be Comcast, CenturyLink, Roadrunner, or even the one you mentioned, Verizon Fios, to be able to use the internet at all, let alone play games online. So, Both of these bills are not exclusively for online gaming, as there are additional reasons to pay said bills. Now let's look at both Xbox Live and PSN Network. On top of those two previous bills I just mentioned, there's also that yearly fee to use their network to play those console games online. So with console gaming, there are 3 bills a customer has to pay, whereas PC there are only 2. 3 is a greater number than 2, hip-hop. I mean, do you need to go back to elementary school to brush up on your number system? On top of that, whereas on PC said 2 bills are not strictly for online gaming, that 3rd bill you're coughing up for consoles is strictly for online play. The fact that I have to explain this to you, a supposed hardcore gamer, well, it just proves exactly what I and many others have been saying about you all along. That you are nothing more than a complete joke and a fraud. But with this new enlightening tweet of yours, a new wrinkle is added. So tell me, hip-hop, are you a stupid, context-deprived fraud? Or are you a willfully ignorant fraud that knows full well about the stupid shit you're saying? I guess it doesn't really matter, because you're fucking exposed either way. And the fact that you're affiliated with a New York City radio station to the point where they not only allow you to peddle this kind of bullshit, but to also allow you behind the scenes access in the gaming industry is downright disgusting. As a matter of fact, I think instead of focusing on hip-hop every time he says/posts something stupid online, we as a community should turn our gaze towards Hot 97 FM. He has shown time and time again that he is not qualified to have the kind of job he has. So why the hell is he still employed? Here is Hot 97's contact information on the screen for you. What I think we should do is contact Hot 97, whether it be through email or otherwise, en masse, and get this fraud removed from their radio station, thus removing his ties to the video game industry, thus eliminate all his blatant attempts to set a bad precedent for the gaming industry. If you're just as tired of his bullshit as I am, here's how you can take action. Obviously, I'm not forcing anybody to do anything, as what you do with this information is entirely up to you. However, I would strongly recommend you take action. Not only is all the possible contact info in this video, but I will also have everything in the description below. Whenever Black Bond has his annual CSA awards, every time hip-hop is brought up, the common thing that's said about him is that, oh, well, at least he's getting paid to do what he does, so at least he has an excuse. To which my response is, and? An argument can be made that this might actually be worse than the other people who don't get paid, like Mooch, Crap Gamer, and all those other tool bags, because HipHopGamer is making a living out of trying to fuck the game industry up. Just because he's doing this for a living doesn't make it right. He could pick a much more honorable way to make said living like everybody else. But instead, he has chosen to champion for restrictions and nickel and diming consumers within an industry he claims to have a passion for, which has been proven time and time again is nothing more than a bullshit front he uses to continue being a corporate stooge. So yeah, we may not be able to do all that much about guys like Mooch, Crap Gamer, Zaire, and all the others that are doing this for a hobby, other than ridicule them and make them look like the fools that they are. However, with hip-hop, we can actually do something about his fraudulent corporate stooge bullshit, and that's take away his keys to the Golden Kingdom. Like I said, I'm not the boss of anybody that's watching this, but if you want to make an impact and let your voices be heard, this is your opportunity. Regardless, hip-hop, how many times is your dumb ass going to get exposed? Seriously, you make this too damn easy, son. Stop trying to play dumb, because I think you knew full well about the context I elaborated on in this video. Because after all, I don't think a high-profile radio station in one of the most high-profile cities in the country would hire somebody who is as bad with basic numbers as you just made yourself out to be. But hey, I've been wrong before. Shots fired, bitch! The great exposer has spoken.
I love restaurant. I love restaurant. I am married to restaurant. Restaurant, I love marriages.
What the fuck is this? What am I looking at here? Are the people who run Facebook really trying to convince me that their service is free? Motherfucker, having a Facebook account ain't free. Who the fuck are you trying to fool? You really think I'm that gullible and stupid? You think you can insult my goddamn intelligence and treat me like a child? Well, now 'cause you did that, I guess I gotta beat your fucking asses Factual Slam City style. Alright? This shit isn't free. Did you all just conveniently forget that I have to pay my internet and electricity bills and pay for a device to run it on, whether it be a PC, smartphone, or tablet? Yeah, I guess that thought didn't occur to you dumbasses, huh? And while we're at it, without the internet, there is no Facebook. The internet was developed by a guy you may have heard of named Sir Tim Berners-Lee after he graduated from the Queen's College in Oxford. And if that prestigious school didn't exist for him to graduate from, there wouldn't be any internet, bitches. Do you know how many millions of dollars it takes to keep that school running? Trying to tell me Facebook is free when it costs millions of dollars to maintain the school that the inventor of the internet graduated from? Motherfucker, please. Hell, let's go back even further than that. Without the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction event that instigated the rise of the mammals, there wouldn't be any internet to speak of. I'm sure whatever happened during that time period cost upwards of trillions to quadrillions of dollars based on inflation. So don't fucking sit there and try to tell me Facebook is free to use. Alright? Get your fucking shit straight, Mark Zuckerberg, you punk! Hip-Hop Gamer, you fucking dumbass!
Listen to me right now. Right now. Look, y'all better share this video, talk about it, everything. I'm telling y'all right now, son. This is the only video in the entire gaming industry that matters right now. This is the only video that matters, okay? Resident Evil 7. If you call yourself a gamer and you don't get it, if you don't get this game and you call yourself a gamer, I'ma find you, son. Word up. Brooklyn style, shots fired. Anybody that puts out a review on Resident Evil 7 and they get that joint like a 7 or an 8 or something like that, I better not catch you at E3 because we're going to battle, we're going to talk, we're going to debate. I'm pulling your gamer card. I'll kick you out of conference. Wait, hold up. You said IGN? Hold up. You said IGN gave this game a 7.7? All right, let me tell you something right now. I'm going to find out who reviewed that game, and I'm going to smash them. Shots fired, I'm going to blast them. I better not see them in the street. I better not see them in the street. I better not see them in the street. Like, I'm telling you right now, son, you bugging. You bugging. They lying. A 7.7, they lying. You tell them I said they lying. Tweet. Whoever did that, tweet at them. Say HipHopGamer said you lying. I dare them to say something different. I dare them. You crazy. I hear you. Just one of your thoughts. Most other review sites gave the game 9s and 10s. Just to understand why IGN has different views. Because I'm not going to call out IGN. Because IGN is just a brand name. There's people behind IGN that works there that does this. So you gotta hold them individually accountable. So whoever at IGN that did a review on Resident Evil 7 and you gave it a 7.7? A 7.7? Yo, hold up. Listen, no, get out of here. Don't take that off. So my thing is, you're gonna give. Oh, no, check it out. IGN gave this a 7.7. Yo, matter of fact, hold this. Talk to them real quick. I'm gonna find the person who gave that review. I'm gonna find them right now. We lit. Oh, wait. Give me. Yo, check this out. All right. So y'all see this? Hold up. Y'all see this? Do y'all see the name? Like this name right here. I want y'all to look at that name. Blast that name. Y'all find this person on Twitter. Instagram, something. Find that person right there. I'm gonna find them too. But y'all find them and blast them. You bugging. Him or her. I don't care who it is. By Chloe Rad. Who the hell is that? Yo, I'm about to find. Yo, you bugging. Don't matter. You bug. Wait, hold on a second. A 7.7? You smoking all types of like. No, this is beyond crack. You smoking like butt sauce. Word up, yo. You smoking butt sauce. Straight up. Yo, look at this. Look, they gave it a 7.7. They just said it's good. Kiss my ass. Kiss my ass, yo. You crazy? They smoking butt sauce. Straight up. Smoking hot dog juice. Get out of here, son. You bugging. Hold on a second. Hold up. Yo, where we at? Yo, hold on. Yo, no, I'm fine. No. Listen, find that person on Twitter for me, please. A freelancer? Yo, they ain't not ready. They need to continue to freelance somewhere else. Yo, I'm gonna find this person. Yo, I'm putting him on blast on Twitter right now. Yo, y'all need to go look at my Twitter because it's about to go in. Word up. You bugging right now, son.
Yes.
I hope this ain't it. Like, that can't... Yo, please don't tell me that this is this person's... This better not be their Twitter with 2 followers. Like, you better... Nah, hold up. That better not be their Twitter. Hold on a second, son. Hold up. What happened? Hold up. Wait, I'm trying to... Alright, cool. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy, yo. Mario is good. Yo, Jack, that guy suck, bro. His review is always shit. Yeah, I feel you. But so, it just comes to me, dog. For real. That guy, yo, blast him. Yo, find this dude on Twitter, man, cause ain't no way in the world. Hey, yo, matter of fact, I'm going after the whole corporation right now, son. Hold on a second, son. Yo, IGN. What the F? No, look, I'm trying not to curse, and I'm trying to be good, you know what I'm saying? But yo, IGN, what the fuck are you doing? Yo, sorry about that, y'all. I just had to get one out. Yo, what the F? I'm tweeting it right now, yo, so make sure y'all retweet the tweet when I tweet it. Yo, IGN, what the F? The F y'all doing giving Resident Evil Resident Evil. Hold on a second. I gotta get this right. Resident Evil. I'm getting everything Resident Evil. Resident Evil 7. 7.7. F the opinion. F the opinion of wait, hold up. F the opinion of Chloe Rad. I'm speaking facts. Game is fire. Hold up. Game is fire. Hold up. Yo. Hold up. I got 144 characters. So, hold up. You do giving. All right, cool. Yo, I just tweeted it out. But yo, I can't find this dude, son. I can't find this joint. Yo, I need help finding this dude's Instagram, something like that. If y'all find it, let me know, man. Ain't no way in the world you could debate me on this. You already lost. I'm telling you.
All right, that's enough.
I'll give you an uppercut.
Cut that bullshit off. Wow. I'm speechless. Just when I think Hip Hop Gamer can't get any stupider or stoop any lower, he ventures into crap gamer and mooch territory, and possibly even Blackie Lebowski territory as well. Before this, Hip Hop was a solid mid-tier corporate slave in my book. This instantly just shot him up to top tier. That's right, he now shares the same tier as Next Gen 720 and Blackie Lebowski. This dude wants to catch an IGN reviewer in the streets all over a goddamn game review that he didn't agree with? And nobody can say he was taken out of context or any other damage control bullshit. Rewind this damn video and hear those exact words coming out of this dude's mouth. Even if we were to give him the benefit of the doubt and remove the indirect violent threat context from the discussion, he still wants to confront somebody over a goddamn score they gave to a video game. He wants to confront somebody over an opinion. Not only that, he wants to find this reviewer's social media page or any other form of contact and send whatever brain-dead minions he has to harass this person over a fucking game review score. So at best, he's a petulant elitist child, and at worst, he's now a menace to society. And this is somebody that's getting paid to do this dumb shit. And that's what mystifies me the most. This is like if Next Gen 720, Crap Gamer, or Blackie Lebowski was handed a gaming journalism career based off of their frauding abilities. Which, speaking of fraudulence, this dude says he's gonna revoke other people's gamer cards over this shit. Bitch, I don't know what reality you're living in to give you the impression that you even remotely have that ability, but need I remind you that your gamer card has already long been pulled, Mr. 20,000 ROM hacks, Mr. You pay to play online on the PC by paying your internet bill, so therefore paying even more to play online on consoles is okay? I said in the August 29, 2016 video I made about this dumbass that he should be fired and Hot 97 FM should at the very least completely dissolve their so-called gaming division, and I not only still stand by that, but now I'm even more vociferous about it. So just like I did with that video, I'm going to leave Hot 97 FM's contact info in the description of this video. I don't want to hear any more of the dumb bullshit I heard last time of, you want a guy to lose his job over video games? Wow, you're a social reject. I'll bet you a lot of the people that were saying that dumb shit before have probably changed their tunes now after seeing this deplorable shit. I guess Hip Hop is going to get his wish with this video going viral, but not for the reasons he wanted. And is it just me, or does Hip Hop seem to have a schedule of always saying and doing dumb shit at the beginning of each year like clockwork? Actually, don't bother answering that. I can't even. I'm fucking done. I'm going to bed. The Great Exposer has spoken. Holy fuck. Hip hop, hip hop, hip hop. Whatever am I going to do with you? Aside continue to clown and expose you for the complete fraud and joke that you are, of course. For those unaware, hip hop is at it yet again. Somebody gave a review score to Horizon Zero Dawn that he didn't approve of, so he sent his dumbass fanboys to harass this reviewer. This dude just doesn't fucking learn. So all this gets out in the open on Twitter, and BG, the head of the Weapon Wheel podcast, chimes in basically saying the obvious thing any rational, level-headed individual would say. Hip-Hop then tried to make excuses for himself, saying, "You just don't know why I do what I do," and offered to come on the Weapon Wheel podcast to explain himself. As you can see here, though, I was having none of that, and I made it perfectly clear that he can give whatever bullshit excuses he wants, because that's all they are. There are no valid reasons he can provide to justify his actions, and I made it known that if I was able to, I'd come on to Weapon Wheel Podcast at the same time Hip Hop would and massacre him for the listening pleasure of thousands. He then decided to post an explanation for his actions on Facebook, which is what you're seeing on the screen right now. I promised I would destroy him if we ever got onto Weapon Wheel podcast together, but since that really ain't an option due to conflicting schedules, I figured I'd go ahead and do so with this very video since he's decided to attempt to explain himself. So, let's fucking do this. Yo, 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 listen to me right now, Brooklyn style, shots fired, bang, bang. Got a message to my gamer family. Are you all familiar with Chef Gordon Ramsay or Damon Dash? Okay, the passion and approach to food and restaurants hip-hop culture are very, very parallel to how my passion is for gaming culture / industry, etc. Bang, bang. Since you wanted to bring up the hip-hop culture, let's go ahead and get this out in the open, hip-hop. I ain't gonna call you by your government name because, quite frankly, you're subhuman trash who is unworthy of being talked to as a human being, and will continue to be till you prove otherwise. So, henceforth, I'm gonna call you by your corporate cum dumpster name, which is 20K ROMs. Let's get this straight right here and now, 20K ROMs. You ain't even doing a good job of repping the hip-hop culture, at least in its current state in mainstream music. No, see, what you're trying to rep is the gangster culture, the street culture, the hood culture, the ghetto culture, whatever you want to call it, with all this bang bang, shots fired, Brooklyn style bullshit you spew on a regular basis. Now there is a subgenre of hip hop known as gangster rap that more accurately fits what 20K ROMs is trying to emulate, but there's a bit of a problem there. I took a look at some of the recent playlists for Hot 97 FM, which is the radio station that employs his dumbass. You want to know what I found? Found a bunch of Rihanna, Drake, Nicki Minaj, Fat Joe, Jay-Z, and other assorted mainstream hip-hop artists. Guess what I hardly found any of? Gangsta rap hip-hop artists. And you want to know why I didn't find any? Because gangster rap hasn't been culturally relevant in mainstream music for close to 2 decades now. So we've now established that when 20K ROM says he represents the hip-hop culture, he's fucking lying. He's trying to represent a small subset of hip-hop culture that hasn't been relevant for many, many years. So not only is he a detriment to the video game industry / culture with his anti-consumer rhetoric, which we'll get to here in a second, and not only is he a detriment to the hip-hop culture he claims to represent, he's a detriment to his own race too. Oh yeah, I'm going there. Black Bond ain't the only one that could call out moronic acting black people for their thuggish behavior. With this bullshit ghetto hood mentality you display, 20K ROMs, all you're doing is perpetuating the stereotype that black men of your kind are nothing more than menace to society, low-life pieces of shit. And before anybody tries to pull the racism card, let me ask you this. If I was a racist, would I have agreed to be a panelist for the CSAs with other black men such as Dark Cloud, Omega Loser, Kid Smooth, and even the fucking host, Black Bond? Yeah. Exactly. Not to mention that there's white people that act ghetto as well as Latino people and Asian people. And all of them are a disgrace to their respective race. People that act like they ain't got no damn sense and then want to cry about being racially stereotyped, as well as the people that defend them, can all suck a sick dick. And by sick, I don't mean size, I mean full-blown AIDS. On top of all that, he doesn't even do a good job at repping the gangsta culture. A little-known YouTuber by the name of Siegfried Enigmad made a video about 20K ROMs that I'll link in the description, and he hit the nail on the head. Roll the footage.
But even if we move and brush that off right off the frame, we have to come to the real issue here. You see, even after all that, when people come after you and say that you're dumb, that you're wrong, and why are you taking it so seriously, you then say, nah, dog, you got to understand my culture. Your culture. You want to talk about the hip-hop culture. You want to talk about street culture, the hood culture. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are living in the hood right now, none of you give a fuck about what people think of a movie, a video game, or let alone what an internet website has to say about a video game score. That's not part of your culture. Let alone you're going to ride on somebody just because they gave a video game not the score that you would give the game. Matter of fact, there's many people out there who've given the game an 8 out of 10. She gave it a 7.7. So that 0.3 has triggered you so much to the point where you feel so, oh man, I gotta make this video. Oh my god, I gotta call her out. I gotta cuss at her. I gotta say she's a piece of garbage and she's smoking crack. That's what you do. That's what's good in the streets. But the point is, I'm gonna let you live with this, okay? I'm gonna let this mistake happen, but don't let it happen again. Because you want to sit out here and you want to talk about street culture when a lot of the people who are actually in that street culture right now, they're not worried about the internet because they don't have that wide access to the internet. There's a lot of people in the hood, in impoverished areas, the people that you want to try to, quote unquote, impersonate, be like, rep, be that street life, you know what I'm talking about? They don't get Xbox Ones. They ain't running out trying to get PS4s. They ain't going on Xbox Live and PSN and really give a damn about the latest and the greatest. So stop this. You're trifling. You're being childish right now. And you want to sit here and you want to start this video off with, oh, this needs to be the most viral video on the internet. Stop. You're embarrassing everyone. Stop it.
So what we're dealing with here is a fraud as a gamer, a fraud as a journalist, a fraud as a figure of the hip-hop community, and a fraud as a figure of the gangster culture. I'd even go so far as to say that he's pretty much a fraud at being a fraud. And spare me the worn out, he's portraying a character defense. Yeah, because him portraying a character while trying to be a legit video game journalist totally aren't at cross purposes with each other, right, morons? Him sending his army of anus-licking clowns to harass reviewers he doesn't agree with is totally part of the act, right? Fucking idiots. Let's move on to the meat of the matter. His video game journalism fraudulence. Yo, understand this, dog. If I don't like something, if something don't make sense to me, if I see someone in a powerful position abusing the culture, it all matters to me. Bang, bang, shot fired. Someone in a position of power abusing the culture. Fuck, does that ever sound familiar? Seriously, I remember some shit stain who happened to have a high-profile gaming journalism job for one of the top radio stations in the country spew a bunch of anti-consumer diatribe about how gamers were entitled and spoiled because they complained that Capcom put out Street Fighter V in an unfinished, lack of required arcade mode state. I also recall this same shit stain tried to compare the negative critical reception of the Order 1886 to racism that black people had endured many, many years ago. Damn, I wish I could remember who that piece of shit was. Oh, that's right, it was you. You don't have a single leg or any ground to stand on when talking about people in positions of power abusing the gaming culture / industry, you hypocritical cocksucker. Opinions are meant to be challenged because certain opinions aren't valid. Word up! Wow. 20K ROMs actually said something that's 100% factually correct. I'm actually rather impressed. I agree that no opinion is above reproach and that there is such a thing as invalid opinions. But alas, as per par for the course for 20K ROMs, taking a peek under the surface of this factually correct statement exposes a mountain of putrid, rancid bullshit. Let me tell you where it is you fucked up, 20K ROMs. Your whole idea of what constitutes an invalid opinion is in itself invalid and foobar to the 100th power. You not agreeing with final review scores regarding certain games from critics that finished said games doesn't make their opinion on said games invalid. And the fact that you send your brain-dead fantars to harass these people online makes it that much worse. Let me tell you what an invalid opinion is. An invalid opinion is saying gamers are entitled and spoiled for being upset that a game developer / publisher put out an unfinished bare-bones game. An invalid opinion is saying a game is a victim of Jim Crow and or pre-Civil War racism because it receives an overwhelming negative critical reception. An invalid opinion is saying that somebody is lying about their review score for a game they completely finished when you had only played 40 minutes of said game. An invalid opinion is saying that playing PC games online isn't free because you have to pay your internet bill, so therefore it's okay to pay an extra $60 to play online console games on top of said internet bill. It's these kinds of repeated invalid opinion offenses that truly paint the pictures of your gross unprofessionalism, why you need to be fired, and why somebody more qualified needs to take your place. See, most journos are being exposed now because they care about the check only and not the culture, you dig? Holy crap, 2 factually correct statements in a row. 20K Roms is on a roll. Yes, it's established common knowledge that a lot of these mainstream video game journalism outlets, such as IGN and GameSpot, are corrupt. It's well established at this point that these media outlets will oftentimes base their game review scores on how much ad revenue they are paid by the company whose games they're reviewing, among other highly questionable actions. Having said that, however, the fact that I'd trust any of these outlets with my life before I'd trust anything 20K ROM says/does regarding video games should really clue you in as to what kind of fraudulent shit salesman with a mouthful of samples con artist 20K ROMs really is. Nobody associated with any of these gaming journalism outlets have said/done anything even remotely comparable to the type of off-the-wall bullshit 20K ROMs has said/done. And I say that with every awareness of the Colin Moriarty Mass Effect 3 scandal and the Jeff Gertzman GameSpot Kane Lynch controversy. If he was working for any of these outlets and pulled the same kind of unprofessional bullshit he's pulled over the last few years, he would have gotten shit canned a long ass time ago, which goes a long goddamn way in showing what kind of clown shoes organization Hot 97 FM is running in keeping this dipshit on their payroll. Oh, and with the aforementioned corporate cocksucking 20K ROMs has been found guilty of, his statement of journals getting exposed because they only care about the paycheck perfectly applies to what I'm doing to him right now. My goal is to raise the bar on what we love. Raising the bar on what we love, that being gaming. Please explain to me how your anti-consumer mentality is going to accomplish that. Be more accountable for what we do. Be more accountable for what we do. You obviously haven't been held accountable for your horrendous actions due to the fact that you still have the job that allows you to perpetuate said horrendous actions. And that's a problem. Now you know why I'm here, 20K ROMs. You've done bad things. And grow in a way where we can have dialogue and learn from each other, you feel me? Grow in a way where we can have dialogue and learn from each other. Right after I send all my idiotic fanboy followers to harass those I don't agree with, that is. I've never been a yes man. You've never been a yes man. Really? You sure about that? Because I'm pretty sure the Street Fighter V and the Order 1886 examples I mentioned earlier don't just beg to differ, but rather demand to differ. It's like whenever you open your mouth, you're lying. And I've never ever had a fear of someone's power and position. You've never had fear of somebody's power or position. That's because you've been lucky enough to not have to work for an organization that wouldn't tolerate any of the stupid bullshit you've been partaking in. I bet if you were held to the same standards of professionalism as everybody else and got fired for all your stupid bullshit, you'd be singing a different tune in that regard. That, or you haven't had to have any fear of somebody else's superior position because you do such a good job at sucking them off. I call every bluff if need be, cause you're looking at and witnessing the realest, most passionate voice ever in gaming. Hashtag facts. Bang, bang, shots fired, Brooklyn style. Oh shit, it's the po-po. Scatter. You call every bluff cause you're the realest gamer around, huh? far as I'm aware of, you ain't even remotely addressed anything I've said about you in any of my past videos. It's almost as if you're ducking me at every turn, because you know your bullshit ain't gonna fly with me. Since you want to talk a big game though, I'm gonna make this extra interesting, because I'm officially not allowing you to duck me anymore. I'm giving you exactly 1 month to address everything I've said in this video with a video response of your own. And I want you to play each excerpt from this video individually before addressing them so your audience can hear what I'm saying in the video you're addressing. So I don't get accused of just doing this to get views and subs. You do not have to mention my name in your response video. You do not need to link to my video in any way, and you do not need to link to my channel in any way. It's your choice if you do, but I don't care if you won't, because me making my audience bigger is not what this is about. Oh yeah, and in this response video of yours, I want you to name all the games I've showed footage of in this video. I mean, you claim to be all about the gaming culture and the realest gamer to have ever lived, to the point where you know about ROM hacks of Street Fighter 2, so you should have absolutely no problems naming the games I showed in this video, right? If you fail to make your response video before the month-long time limit expires, I'll be doing what I've been heavily implying in my past videos about you that I would do, which is sending correspondence to Hot 97 FM, your employer, to give them the feedback about you that they obviously need, which I will show myself sending in a follow-up video, and encouraging others who are sick of your nonsense and how you conduct yourself to do the same. What will become of the feedback correspondence I send to them, I have no earthly idea, but it will be sent regardless if you continue to duck me like a straight bitch. And if you think I'm fucking around with you, try me. Oh, and if you try sending any members of your fuckboy army after me, they will be dealt with accordingly. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and preemptively dismantle the favorite tactic some of your fantards have already tried coming at me with. That being that I'm jealous of 20k ROMs. Jealous of what? Jealous of what? Being jealous means I want what he has. He's got nothing I want. What? Am I jealous that he's a video game journalist and I'm not? I've never had, nor will I ever have, any ambition, aspiration, or desire to become a gaming journalist, so we can go ahead and toss that in the garbage. Jealous of the money he makes? I make enough money to live comfortably and live the kind of lifestyle I want, so we can go ahead and throw that out as well. Jealous that he has a voice in the game industry? That kind of goes back to the game journalism thing. No need or want to be a voice in the game industry, so that's another one we can throw out. Jealous that he supposedly started out from nothing and made something of himself? First of all, he could take that and a couple of bucks, go down to McDonald's, and they'll give him a double cheeseburger. But he better remember the couple of bucks. Secondly, becoming somebody is relative. I don't consider an idiotic lying fraud to be somebody. Thirdly, even if he did start from the bottom and made it to the top in some form, that means fuck all considering what he's done with that, which is make the gaming industry and gamers alike look bad. Jealous that he has a bigger audience than me? Rewind this video to the part where I mentioned that I don't care if he promotes my channel/video in any way if he makes a response video to this, and see if that statement is still valid. I've said countless times that I don't care how big or small of an audience I have. And if I don't care how big of an audience I have, why in the fuck would I care about the size of somebody else's audience? So with all that thrown out, what's left? His ability to make an ass out of himself? Oh boy, that's definitely something I should aspire to be. I sure do wish I could say and do stupid shit like him. Fuck out of here. If you idiot fanboys are going to come at me, you better come at me with something substantial, or else I'll make you look like the worthless mules you are. Anyways, 20k ROMs, I honestly don't think you'll even watch this video, let alone respond to it. I really don't. I'll be really surprised if you do either of them, because it's far easier and more convenient for you to stay in your little safety bubble and label me a hater for ease of dismissal. You can go ahead and do that if you want to, but deep down, you know that everything I've ever said about you is factual. Like I initially said on Twitter, there is no valid reason you can provide to justify the shit that you do. You can make up whatever bullshit excuses you want, just like you did with your Facebook post that I just mutilated with this video. Your bullshit might work on children, domesticated farm animals, and retarded people, but grown-ass people with functioning brain cells can see right through you. And that's why I fucking destroyed your ass in every video I've made on you, and will continue to destroy your ass for as long as you continue to say and do stupid shit in order to ruin the game industry. You're a joke, you're a fraud, you're an unprofessional, abysmal excuse for a journalist, you're an anti-consumer corporate slave, and you're a borderline menace to society. The one thing I don't think you are, despite what you claim, is real. But we're going to find out just how real you are. And if you failed the real test, you're going to find out why I call myself the eater of frauds. 1 month, 20K ROMs. 1 month. The Great Exposer has spoken. The following video has been brought to you by Harry's.com, the only shave club that is home to the official Great Exposer engraved razor. You need it! The preceding was not a paid advertisement. The Great Exposer is not Review Tech USA. The official Great Exposer engraved razor is not an actual licensed product. No animals were harmed during the making of this fake advertisement. Well, hello there, PC that just so happens to be open up to Steam with over 100 games on it. Hello, girlfriend's Xbox 360 and girlfriend's PS3. Hello, my PS3 and PS4 Pro. Hello, my original Xbox. It's kind of weird that my girlfriend has an Xbox 360 and I just have the OG Xbox. Do I use it to play any original Xbox games? Well, there are some on the shelf, but they're in my girlfriend's stack of games, and those games are backwards compatible with the Xbox 360 anyway. So why in the world would I have this? Well, with the recent disaster that was the NES Mini Classic, and the recent announcement of the SNES Mini Classic, I figured I'd go ahead and show how grown-ass men handle their retro gaming needs. And let's go ahead and do that with a good old-fashioned jump cut. Now hopefully I can get this done as quickly as possible so I can turn the fucking AC back on, because I'm already burning up. But let's turn this thing on and see what I'm on about. Seems like a regular old Xbox so far. With this boot up screen, we must not be that fucking special, right? There's even the Microsoft word, sign, logo, whatever you want to call it. Blame it on the marijuana, lol. Wait a minute. What do we have here? What's this now? What's going on here? I've never seen this before when I boot up an Xbox. What is this? What is this now? All seriousness, shout out to the 7th level for giving me the inspiration to get one of these. I'd always heard about modded consoles, but I didn't really know anything about their reliability or even potential until I bought this motherfucker. Now, for the purposes of this video, let's go to emulators right quick. And we're just going to focus primarily for now on CoinOp 8, because that's the one I mainly use. There's a whole bunch more on this thing, which admittedly a lot of them don't work, but I'll get into more detail on that later. Any moment now. So already, we got fucking arcade games. We're in the number section of arcade. And then we're in the A section. We go to B, C, D, E,
I mean, fuck. Look at this. Show y'all something real quick. Where's it at? There it is. There's that fucking Neo Turf Masters physical copy on the fucking Neo Geo AES. Over 20 grand. I got the arcade version right here. Can play it anytime. Alright, but now, let's see. This is going to take a little bit. Arcade. We're still in the arcade. Okay, I need to edit this a little bit. Name and console. There we go. Okay, we're back on track. Got Amiga. Let's fucking just scroll through this a little bit for the purposes of my video, my point here. Are we there? I think it's the next one. So, yeah. Almost $300 NES Classics for 30 games. Yeah. Look at this. All these are playable. Let's even scroll down a little bit more. Uh-huh. Yeah. Not even worth the $60 they were originally asking for, let alone almost $300. Suck my dick, Nintendo. Got some N64, and then I think the next one. So now this fucking SNES Mini that's about to come out, 21 games for $80? Yeah. Wipe my ass with your 21 games, Nintendo. Alright? Get with the fucking program. Scroll down even more. Look at all this shit. Just look at it. I'm trying to scroll through these as quickly as possible just in case Nintendo wants to pull some fuck shit by flagging the video with too much gameplay footage in it. Come on, where's that? Yeah. Yeah, real big, Nintendo. Yeah. 21 games, $80. Where do I sign up? Yeah, you can go ahead and fucking split my anus so wide you could eat cereal out of it. Sure, I'm okay with that. I think I passed it. But I want to show you one very important thing. Just remember this little area right here. But, I have no idea what that is. Home computer of some kind. Yeah, arcade. It's worth it just for the fucking arcade games, people. I get lost in these menus because of the amount of fucking choices that I have. I mean, fuck. Oh, classic games? At least in this case, it's an OG Xbox game. Some PC games, my fucking TV sometimes does that. Actually, no, in this case, I think, yeah, it's actually the modded Xbox itself. If you stay on these menus too long, it will have to reload. What I was talking about is the fucking HDMI sync issue I'm having with my PS4 Pro. But yeah, Halo 2 preloaded on this thing? I mean, come on. Commodore 64, Game Boy is admittedly sparse, but makes up for it with Game Boy Advance. Oh yeah, I got my Game Boy Advance covered. Master System, for the most part, covered. Sega CD. Genesis. The fuck out of my face, Nintendo. $320, I can get this fucking modded Xbox with all this shit versus paying like $270 for a fucking NES Classic with 30 games. Yeah, fuck right off, scalpers. Fuck right the hell off. Some 32X shit, MSX shit, which means OG Metal Gear, OG Metal Gear 2. For course, we have the N6, a little bit of N64 in there. Not as much as I admittedly would like, but at least it's something. TurboGrafx CD. Few PlayStation games. Again, see also the, what was it? The Nintendo 64. Not as much as I would have liked, but they're there. ZX Spectrum. I have no idea what the fuck that even is. The X6 8000. Somebody's going to have to clue me in on what that is. I've never even heard of it. So yeah. Now let me go ahead and so we can skip this rebooting process, because that's one of the things that does kind of suck about this. It takes a while to get back to the main menu. But let's go ahead and skip all that with a little jump cut. Alright, so we're back on the main screen. Let's go to games. All this, OG Xbox games that weren't in the fucking Coin-Op 8. I mean, Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast. If you had Jedi Academy out there, it'd be fucking game over, son. Game over, son. MVC 2, even though I already have it on PS3. Panzer Dragoon Orta, which was also in the Coin-Op 8. Phantom Dust, the fucking backwards compatible fucking game y'all fucking Xbots were cheering, hoolering, and hollering about. Shenmue 2, Knights of the Old Republic. I mean, shit. I did not fucking expect this. And I do have some actual fucking copies of Xbox games. So if I wanted to... Ah, shit. Wow, that's a catastrophe, alright. I'll deal with that later. But if I wanted to go to... Where is it at? Microsoft Dashboard. I could just use this as a regular Xbox if I had physical copies of games. But, as I'm about to show you here in a minute, I might not even need those. So, admittedly, some of these don't work. The 3DO emulator, all it has on it is Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo and Plumbers Don't Wear Ties, neither of which I've been able to get to work. 7800, I haven't been able to get to work. ColecoVision, I haven't really messed around with it. Atari Jaguar, I got it to work slightly good on Alien vs. Predator, but you really have to play with the fucking emulation settings. You have to hit that magical fucking sweet spot that only comes around with fucking a solar eclipse, which, to me, it's not really worth it. So, Jaguar can suck dick. Fucking Intellivision, I've only tried one game on here, fucking Beauty and the Beast. It doesn't work. I haven't really played with any other game, so I don't really know 100% if it works or not. Coin-Op 8, we just did. This is basically some extra fucking arcade games. I think the majority of them are even in Coin-Op 8, so this is kind of a waste of time. That's TurboGrafx. Main, any small chance that the Coin-Op 8 didn't have a specific arcade game I can find in here. Links, nothing works. Just like with the Silent Rob video where he showed that Raspberry Pi, Links apparently does not work very well. It might work on a computer. I haven't tried it. I don't even care enough about the links to try it. Neo Geo CD, most of the shit works. Genesis, now with this one, there's one game in the Coin-Op I found that doesn't work properly when you try to play it, and that's General Chaos. Whenever you try to launch it, it just fucking goes a black screen, and it just goes back to the fucking, menu. This, I can go to my Genesis emulator, find General Chaos, and it'll run just fine. So there's a backup for shit that don't work in the Coin-Op 8. You got your NES, PlayStation. There's a few games that this emulator has that the Coin-Ops didn't. If I want to go play some Twisted Metal 2, I'll go in here. Super Nintendo. Alright, here we go. This is what I wanted to show you. Now, I might have to turn this down because I'm pretty sure the music in these emulators get much louder than normal. Oh yeah, I'll turn that way down. Alright, so I specifically, in the Coin-Op 8 area, went to the Star section for a very specific reason. You didn't see Star Fox 2 in that, did you? No, you didn't. So, any of you people that are still clamoring for, an SNES Mini I'll be like, oh, but this thing doesn't have Star Fox 2. Star Fox 2 is finally getting released. Star Fox 2. Star Fox 2. Oh, God, yes, right there, Star Fox 2. Anyways, I digress. Let's go in here, shall we? This is my backup SNES emulator. Now, there's one thing I wanted to find before we get to that. Where is it at? Where, oh, where can it be? Oh, I think I just passed it. Where's it? There it is. Ogre Battle. Fucking, if you watch the Silent Robcast, episode 3, HipHopLiar found a fucking version of this game, physical copy, for $8,000. The motherfucker was already on the fucking Xbox. $320 versus, let's see, it was over 20 grand for fucking Neo Turf Masters, over $1,000 for Little Samson, which is also on here, and almost $8 grand for Ogre Battle. I think it's March of the Black Queen. So yeah, what are we up to now versus 320? But now let's move on to the main event here. Let's move on to the main motherfucking event. Where, oh where could it be? Where? Oh look! Star Fox 2. It works perfectly. And this wasn't originally on this fucking Xbox. I had to put this shit on myself. FTP style. Holla at your boy. And now here's a little bit of a bonus for you. Since y'all want to fucking brag about shit that was never released. Terranigma. Really, really underrated action RPG on the Super Nintendo. I think it was only released in Japan and Europe. I know for a fact Europe. I'm not 100% sure on Japan, but never released in the US. That ain't on the SNES Mini Classic. Where you at, Nintendo? Huh? Y'all lazy motherfuckers. I know you don't have the fucking rights to some of these games because they were third party, but still. You're out of your league, Nintendo, when it comes to, you know, this type of shit. And with one final jump cut, we're back to the main screen. Yeah, I just wanted to show this to y'all. In case any of you really wanted to fucking pre-order this SNES Mini, don't. You can find this shit online. I got this fucking shit on Etsy. 1 terabyte, modded Xbox, about 320 bucks. It'll fucking save you in the long run, alright? The NES Mini is only offering 30 fucking Nintendo games, and that's already up to almost $300 if you want to buy it from a scalper. Maybe even more if you try to get it on eBay. The SNES Mini, like fucking predicted, the fucking pre-orders were out of goddamn control, and now scalpers are going to get a hold of it and jack the fucking price up. 320 bucks, I have way more than the NES Mini, the SNES Mini. I also have fucking Genesis. I have fucking Neo Geo CD. I have fucking Turbo Graphics. I have some PlayStation. The arcade section, holy fuck, it's worth it for just that alone. And then the fact that I can actually put my own stuff on here, including emulators, which, you know, I'm going to eventually look into replacing the emulators that are on here that don't really work and try to get something that does work. But even if I'm not able to, I'm still very happy with this. It beats fucking trying to get any of those mini fucking Nintendo consoles. Only reasons I can see you wanting to actually get those, you know, Nintendo mini consoles. One, you're a collector of everything Nintendo paraphernalia, hardware, etc. And in my opinion, you have more money than sense, but you do you. The second reason would be if you're really fucking poor to the point where you can't fucking afford home internet. Maybe something like if it was, you know, if you get it for $60 or maybe even, God forbid, $80, something like that would be more, you know, suitable for your budget for entertainment purposes. But personally, I think you should probably look into getting your financial shit straightened before you're wanting to buy anything entertainment related. But that's just my opinion. But hey, again, you do you. Or a third reason, if you're one of these fucking modders that wants to fucking, you know, jailbreak the system and put more shit on it, which guess what? People have. People have been able to fit the entire NES library on an NES Mini Classic. I don't know whether to, you know, celebrate that or fucking further clown Nintendo for being lazy and insulting people's intelligence, but that's another fucking topic for another day. I just wanted to show this to you guys that if you're hoping to get that, you know, SNES Mini Classic, don't bother. Just get this and you'll be fine. Or just get a fucking Raspberry Pi. They're much better as well. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Great exposure has spoken. Now I'm out this bitch. Oh yeah, one last thing before I get up out of here. Those who have been following my channel may remember, I think it was last year, the whole HipHopGamer shit with him saying he had 20,000 games, a legit collection of 20,000 games, when it turns out they were all ROMs on a modded Xbox just like this one. Y'all may have remembered this one game that he tried to fucking hype up like only he fucking knew about it, called Street Fighter 2 Rapid Edition. Well, I don't know if you can see that because I'm going to do a digital edit because this fucking camera zoom ain't fucking doing it for me. But yeah, there's the so-called Street Fighter 2 Rapid Edition. Now I'm sure you fucking hip-hop students are going to be like, see, he was telling the truth. It does exist. I'll bet you fucking got no choice but to choke on your words now. Yeah, about that. Not only do I still stand by everything I said regarding this topic, but this only further exposes HipHopGamer even more. Because you know what this Rapid Edition is? And it goes a long goddamn way to explain why you can't fucking find it on Google. All this fucking Rapid Edition is the Rainbow Edition sped up. It's Street Fighter 2 Rainbow Edition Turbo. So he wasn't just playing a ROM hack. He was playing a ROM hack of a ROM hack. ROM hackception is what's going on here. Yet he wanted to fucking try to play it off like he's this fucking hardcore ass gamer that fucking knew about this super duper califragilisticexpialidocious obscure arcade version of Street Fighter 2 that Capcom put in like 3 arcades for 7 days or some shit. Dude, knock it the fuck off. Alright? You've been exposed. You've been found out. You're a fucking fraud. Alright? And for those wondering why I haven't made a follow-up video to my last hip-hop video about fucking contacting Hot 97 FM about his dumb fuckery, well, I changed my mind. I changed my mind because I want to see if he's going to do any more fuck shit at the start of next year, just like he's done for like 3 years in a row now. I want to see if there's a method to this madness before I make any further movements. And with that, since it was on the menu screen for so long, it's going to go into its fucking, you know, demo mode with random games. And sometimes I just like to leave this thing on, you know, just to have something in the background. I mean, it's fucking awesome. I get lost in this shit. It's amazing. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. Now that I fucking, you know, dropped the hammer down on HipHopGamer once again, I'm out of here. Great exposure spoken. Y'all have a good one.